This is Katerina Lagno from Ukraine, playing in the women's FIDE Grand Prix in Khanty-Mansisk, Russia. And here's a picture of Katerina Lagno. Extremely good player, smart, classy, and I know it sounds chauvinistic, but she's amazingly cute. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again with another great chess video for you. Round 6 of the Women's FIDE Grand Prix. This is the fourth step I should say, in a series of Grand Prix tournaments to determine the challenger to the current Women's World Champion. This game is between Katerina Lagno from Ukraine, my girl, as white, and Batchimeg as black from Mongolia. Let's get to it. It's a long game. It's going to be in English. One of the reasons why I picked this because it's Katerina Lagno, but the other thing is it's a very unusual opening you're going to see for an English. C takes, knight takes, knight, knight, castles, bishop e7, d4, e takes, knight takes. Very unusual. Look at the A and B pawns just sitting there. This is very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen an English like this before. Knight takes, queen takes, knight f6. Got my Fritz 13 computer on off screen. It shows queen to a4 check, which I'm sure is part of her preparation. And after c6, rook to d1, hitting the queen. This is a very fascinating position. Is black going to be able to castle? We're going to have to see. Queen to b6, bishop e3. Beautiful spot for that bishop. And the bishop blocks. Interesting. Very interesting. Unfortunately, white can't check, as you can see here, because of the knight. I mean, this queen doesn't have very many spaces to go to. We're going to see how this works out. Bishop takes, queen takes, b4. This is the fascinating part right here. This is a very unusual position. Queen comes back. Now, she can go knight to c3. And I would, for two simple reasons. One, it guards this spot from the knight coming here. That way bishop would have to take. You lose a pawn, but you lose that light squared bishop. Might be worth the pawn sacrifice. She goes knight to a3 instead. Black castles right away. I mean, it's the only opportunity she's going to get. She better take it. Where's the light squared bishop going to go for black? Knight c4, hitting the queen. Queen comes back. Queen to a5, offering a trade of queens. Computer calls for queen takes a5 for black as the move. And queen to e7 is a close second. She goes queen to e7, hitting the pawn on e2. Knight to b6. Of course, we all see why pawn can't take, because queen takes the rook. Rook to b8, stopping that. And she gets the bishop anyway. If queen had taken, those of you that are wondering, after bishop h3, bishop takes. It's still good for white, but it's awkward. It's very awkward indeed. And she talked about that. Hopefully I have enough time and I'll be able to put the press conference on here as well with those two. Rook, queen, now she takes, a4, h6, h3, stopping the knight from coming in. Rook to e8. This is a fascinating game. Small advantage for white. Queen to b6. Got a line of fire with the rook. Knight comes in anyway. Threatens the queen. Queen goes to c4. Only space to guard the knight. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Queen to c7. Now, the computer thought queen to a7 was a decent move, because after the rook moves, rook takes, queen takes, queen takes. And that gives white almost a pawn and a half advantage. She decided to go queen to c7 instead. I think she didn't want the complications with her queen. Rook takes, rook takes, rook a8. Queen takes, rook takes, Queen to c8 check. King up. Queen to f5. Reason why I'm going quick, it's going to be a long endgame. g6. Queen to f6. Rook to a8. This goes on for like 70 something moves, so I'm going to go through this part here a little quickly. Hopefully you can just stop the video if you want to look and analyze it. After king to g8, rook to c7. Going a little quick here because this is a fairly long game. King to h2. Rook to f8. Queen to d6. Queen to a2. Queen. These queen endings can take forever. Rook takes, queen takes, rook takes, or excuse me, pawn takes. White's up an extra pawn, but I'm not sure it's going to be able to convert this. g4. You're ahead, but you're not ahead enough to win. So I'll go through some of the endgame here. Maybe somebody can pause it if you're trying to learn your endgames. Your rook pawns with an extra pawn on the c file. King. Rook f4. Try to save some room at the end of the video for the press conference. Rook c4. Rook d5. King. Rook checks. King. f3. Rook. Rook d5. Still protecting the pawn on c5. King. Those of you that are trying to learn some of these rook endings would be best to... She gave up that pawn. Rook to e1. Rook. 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 Looks like white's doing okay here. h4. Here it comes. c7. Rook c8. King e3. She's got to bring the king over to stop that h-pawn. King f7. King. King. Rook. King. Rook takes. Rook h8. Dead even on the computer. Dead draw. Rook checks. King. Rook. Pawn. Rook. King takes. Rook h1. And as we can see here, it's going to end up... Let's go through the motions here. As long as you have the opposition for black, you'll be okay. And end up a stalemate there. Sorry I went through the endgame so quick. It's really, I think it's instructional if you stop the video and try to play it out yourself on a board on the extra pawn on the c file against 3 pawns and 3 pawns with a single rook for each side. I think that would be instructional. Anyway, that's my game for today. Felt bad for Katerina. I think she had more there when she stuck her queen in the corner. I think she picked up the b pawn and maybe had some winning chances. She had a really good advantage, but not enough to win. Batchimeg from Mongolia defended extremely well, so it was a well-deserved half point for her. Anyway, folks, that's the game for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.
In a draw. So, long game, interesting opening. Katerina, can you start? Tell us what happened.
Well, I think I was better all the game, but...
Мне кажется, у меня было лучше всю партию.
Well, in the critical position, so here I should choose a plan.
Здесь критическая позиция, нужно выбирать план.
Well, I chose this one with knight e3, knight c4, but there was still also knight c3, but you know, maybe it's...
Конь c3 был тоже возможен.
I wanted to play b5, but well, here is already maybe knight g4.
Здесь черные могут пойти конь g4.
Maybe. So if e3 takes on e3. So well, that's why I played knight e3, just queen a5. If black takes here,
если черные берут на e5,
well, I think I will take with the knight.
Я бы побила конем.
And it's not easy to hold this because
довольно сложно это держать.
well, I will just play maybe one rook d2, then I will double the rooks on d line and maybe e4, e5. Well, maybe maybe you can hold, but still.
Я сдвою ладьи по линии D, пойду 4
I would not like to play it with black.
Я бы не хотела играть такую позицию черными. И есть, I think there are also problems with the development of bishop on c8. Yes,
Yes, that's why the position is worse for black. So, takes e4, h6, h7.
Ходит слон g4, висит на e2, висит на b4, и как бы фигуры вне игры. Конь на
Maybe I
станции на
don't see
b6 вне игры.
something, but
По ощущениям было...
it looked strange to me.
Выглядело странно.
So that's why I just took here, e4. Well, maybe... I wanted to play queen c5, but then at the last moment I saw this rook b8
Я
idea.
хотела пойти ферзь c5, но здесь увидела идею ладья b8.
And if I take with the rook, so I wanted to keep the queens on the board because.
Не хотелось оставить ферзей на доске.
But here is rook b4, and
Но здесь такой есть ход ладья b4. Jimmy, are you agree with what Katerina said? Would you like to mention something or show some moments in this game? And how did you estimate position after the opening?
Yes, I didn't expect actually the d4 right away, so I got an unpleasant position from the beginning.
Я получила неприятную позицию с самого начала, не ожидала этого варианта.
I was trying not to make the same mistake that I did in the previous games, you know, to think long, and also, so I just decided to move faster and then try to defend and bring my pieces, and then later on played very well. I mean, she did what she had to do, and I defended also, and I was lucky enough to save the game later on.
То есть как бы получила неприятно.
So I think the end game is a drawish one. So
Мне кажется, что этот
the closer pawn is, I mean, the more black can have a chance to make a draw. So if it would be b5, it's already much more difficult for black. E5 or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I mixed everything. So well, I will not tell you. Yes, don't translate anything. So it's very difficult this game. So I played g4. I don't know. Just to avoid h5 because
не дать h5.
h5, g6, f7 looks like it's a good. Okay, it's all.
It's what black was.
Yes, well-known good structure. So.
Известно, что.
But maybe it's a mistake.
Ну, наверное, h4 это ошибка.
So I don't know. Maybe I could play here.
Answers.